What's up, everybody? I'm Damon Hatfield here with Max Scoville, and we've just gotten word that Electronic Arts is shutting down Visceral Games. This is the developer behind Dead Space, several other titles, but more importantly for us today, they were making the new forthcoming Star Wars game for Electronic Arts that was supposed to be a big single-player Star Wars story.
Yeah, which is something we've been waiting for a while. Obviously, Battlefront 2 is finally adding a campaign, but before that we had Star Wars 1313, which got canned, and that kind of exploded off and turned into Hangar 13. And then we were really excited because we were going to get an Amy Hennig-developed Star Wars game. It basically sounded like Uncharted with Star Wars, which, I mean, that sounds like just...
Already on board.
Yeah, that sounds like it would print money, but apparently not enough for EA, and they're sort of pivoting. That's the word here.
So EA Worldwide Studios Executive Vice President Patrick Soderlund said in a statement, in its current form, the game was shaping up to be a story-based linear adventure game. And he states that as if it were a problem. That sounds great to me.
Yeah,
that's exactly
wonderful.
The Star Wars game I want to play.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up playing Star Wars story-based games. Obviously, there are great multiplayer Star Wars games. Battlefront's a ton of fun. Sure. There's, tons of support for the online stuff and the games as a service. But I think there's also sort of almost a culture behind Star Wars as stories being told in games. I mean, you look at the history of LucasArts going way back to the very beginning of licensed video games.
Exactly.
Star Wars was some of the first, one of the first IPs to actually do that, and it sucks to see that legacy kind of falling flat here.
Yeah, Knights of the Old Republic, one of the greatest games of all time. Sutherland continued, it has become clear that to deliver an experience that players will want to come back to and enjoy for a long time to come, we needed to pivot the design. So it does sound like they're going into more of a games as service Destiny direction. They want to have the Star Wars Destiny game.
Yeah, I mean, I was really hoping that because of the money that they're making off of Battlefront as like kind of a continually supported multiplayer thing, that maybe some of that money would be funneled into making this this story game, this thing that's like this cinematic experience that really has that level of polish you'd expect from something like Star Wars paired with something AAA like EA. But I just worry that we're in a kind of an industry where there's less and less room for AAA single-player experiences.
Yeah, like I don't want to be alarmist about it. This news totally bums me out because I'm a gamer that prefers to play by myself, and I like Star Wars, so that's a bummer of news. However, this year we've got Breath of the Wild, Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm really enjoying Shadow of War. So there are still big AAA single-player experiences coming, thankfully.
Yeah.
But for EA, they've actually had some stumbles with their single-player games. Mass Effect Andromeda earlier this year. Titanfall 2 last year was great, but didn't meet the sales expectations that they were hoping for. They also did Mirror's Edge Catalyst. These are all their kind of single-player games that were sort of misses for EA. So I wonder if that influenced this decision.
Yeah, I mean, I can't speak too deeply on how the business side of things works because I'm not a businessman, but I think that they probably put a really huge emphasis on profit margins and the kind of return on investment with something like, it's a single-player game. People pay $60, they buy it once, they play it, and that's it. It doesn't really pan out compared to something where it's, there's like people putting coins in the machine, so to speak.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a bummer. I mean, we've got friends who work there, and it's there's also a huge legacy of the games that Visceral's made over the years. So it's just to see a studio get shuttered is sort of. Ugh.
Yeah, I've been a fan of the studio since Dead Space 1, so yeah, very sorry to see that developer close. But we want to know what you think about this news today. Let us know in the comments, and for more on all things Star Wars, including what this future mystery game will be, stay tuned, IGN.